Hello, everybody, and welcome to Non Sequitur News for February 10th, Season 4, Episode 41. Right? It is Episode 41. Anyway, I am Mayor Watt. I run ohmtown.com, apparently not smoothly. And along with the sentient AI from the future, we're going to talk about these 10 articles. And I didn't set it up for us to flip back and forth. Sorry. Anyway, this is how it's done. The first article, I'm going to go through all 10 of the headlines as I gave them titles. The real titles are on the other side of this. Anyway, all the superb owl advertisements, Thunderbolts asterisk explained, new Apple Home products inbound maybe, sanctions due to fake case citations, warning signs of eruption and tsunami, Fantastic Four popcorn buckets, what caused the Walking Dead zombies, medicinal mushrooms in renewable energy lab, NVIDIA's 50 series meltdown, and Einstein's stunning ring. Everything is powered by ohmtown.com. Go over and become a citizen. See you on the other side. Hello, sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt, and hello, hometown citizens.
How for art thou?
I am wonderful for a Monday. How about you?
I've been watching way too much Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, so I'm speaking in Old English, medieval, kind of thing.
You're getting into it.
Yeah, it's a very, very violent game, but hey, I don't know. I like cozy games. I'm actually going to spin up Foundation if I can manage to focus longer than I'm going to have to play games at 20 minutes or 2 hours at a time. Yeah. Non Sequitur News is named that because of the very fact that I wander off.
Right. Let's demonstrate.
Yeah. Hey, that's a neat article over there. Oh, wait, sorry. Hi. I'm streaming. I forgot I'm still streaming. I'm still streaming. Yeah. I'm still streaming. All right. Well, anyway, we've got 10 articles all lined up. Let's get into it. The very first one is over on the Mobile channel. That's where it was aggregated to. Watch all the ads of Super Bowl 2025. It's a rare thing for Ad Week not to have it used to be like free, you could access everything on adweek.com, but they went like hard commercial, and which is kind of ironic. But this, you can actually watch these videos. Brittany Kiefer over at adweek.com put the article together. It says the ads from Superb Owl 59 are an eclectic bunch. Lots of laughs, some absurdity, a few doses of body horror, aliens, cute animals, cute kids, bros, women's empowerment, and a couple that made us reach for tissues. Some triggered debate, and others built buzz far beyond the game, like Angel Soft. I won't be able to play these because somebody's going to take exception to them. I got them muted, but I could sit there and do that. Oh, yeah, this is the bathroom break one.
Yeah, the one that wasn't really an ad.
Yeah, I wasn't really enthralled by it. Booking.com with the Muppets and various others. Bosch. But it's not the show Bosch.
Right, it's not what I'm thinking.
Ha ha ha. Bud Light, Budweiser, Circle, Coffee Mate, Coors Light, Disney Plus, DoorDash, Doritos, Dove, which I don't think oh yeah, we watched it. Dunkin', I don't remember seeing the Dunkin' one. Duracell, FanDuel, Fetch, quit trying to make Fetch happen. Foundation to Combat Anti-Semitism. Oh, is that what that was?
I don't know if
we saw both
that.
of these ads, but I thought that was a weird ad. GoDaddy, Google Pixel, Google Workspace. Oh my God, there are a lot. Look, Look, look.
I know. I'm like, where? If there's multiple per letter, we could be here for a while.
I guess for Super Bowl 59, there were 59.
Oh, there might have been.
All right. Well, anyway, there you go, folks. Go and check them all out. I would actually love to do a show where we just talk about ads. I think it would be a blast. The problem is you can't get away with it. You can't talk about it. At least I haven't found a way without having to sit there and justify your existence every time you post an ad. But I guess I'll try it.
I don't know how you would do it.
I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. We'll see what happens. All right. Let's keep going, though. The next article is over and just so that we have full circle here, I did not find a single ad that I thought was really compelling or interesting beyond the little snippet like, oh, look, it's an ad for, booking.com or something like that.
I thought there was one that was kind of well, there's more than one, I think, but one was a tearjerker. It was the Google Pixel ad, I think. It had, it showed the parent with the kid, but then there was one that was just funny with the leaf blowers and the leaf blowers and the beer cans, and then the pickleball one was kind of funny.
Yeah, to me, the reason why it was supposedly funny or interesting or whatever is because of the stars that are in it. But if you're not a movie star kind of person.
Well, there were some commercials where it's like, who is this? Even though they were well-known people. But if the audience doesn't know who it is, then they're sometimes missing the joke.
Yeah, for sure. And I suspect when I have, because I'm going to be talking soon, and I'm going to be talking about the Super Bowl. Superb Owl. And drawing attention to this. And I'm going to see if anybody really, did you all get anything out of the ads? But yeah, I remember a time when I used to. Go ahead.
Well, did you see any that you think you'll be talking about 10 years from now?
No.
Right.
No. All right, let's keep going. The next article is over in the continuity report, and it is the namesake, right? So non sequitur news basically means that one article or one discussion does not follow the actual core of what brought that discussion about. And here we have Thunderbolts asterisk, meaning has finally been explained. So the asterisk meaning has finally been explained from Thunderbolts asterisk. You want to take a stab at what do you think that means?
Is it not really Thunderbolts? I mean, I don't know anything about Thunderbolts.
So Thunderbolts and then asterisk. The asterisk meaning has finally been explained. The article is, it says by Evolve Editors, but it's over at comingsoon.net. So essentially, the star, the symbol, points to the fact that the Avengers are not available. And these are the replacement crew.
Okay. So while it's really the Thunderbolts, it's not really the Marvels.
Right.
I mean, the Avengers. So, I don't know why I said the Marvels.
Yeah. I knew what you meant, and I should have, I should have poked you for that. But
you should have.
Yeah, so nevertheless, a recently released international poster for the movie has finally given MCU enthusiasts an insight into what the star-shaped symbol could denote, and it basically means that the Avengers are not available. So you got not super, not heroes, not giving up, Thunderbolts in cinemas May 1st. Interestingly, Kevin Feige previously dodged the question about the symbol's relevance during an appearance in the 2024 San Diego Comic-Con. Instead of giving an explanation, he simply stated that the fans can learn the meaning of the asterisk in an upcoming Thunderbolts in theaters. Kind of go and see it kind of thing.
I mean, it's a good press thing, right? It might get some buzz. Is this the one that it's like slapstick comedy, or am I thinking of another movie?
What is it called? There is one that's not really slapstick. It's kind of a dark comedy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking it was kind of like a superhero, but not movie.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. The failed superheroes.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
What is that called?
Well, that's okay. I just didn't know if that was the one because I think I had seen a trailer or something.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What is it called? I can't let it go. What is it called? What's it called? Oh gosh. This is really going to bother me.
Okay, we'll put it in the next episode of Continuity Report.
Oh, you think you're going to get away with that?
Yes.
Oh, 1 second. Almost. Nope. Okay. Moving on. Next article is over in Smack Talk. Apple's brand new home product won't launch until April or later, per Mark Gurman. So Apple is expected to launch its first new products of the year this week, but the launch they're most excited about, Mark Gurman, from the Mark Gurman report. The new HomePad device is going to require longer than expected. And I'm not quite sure what this is. So Ryan Christoffel over at 9to5mac.com put the article together, and it says Apple's no longer working on a car, and true AR glasses are probably 3 to 5 years away, though Apple is pursuing smart home technology. Its first major entry into the segment, a hub that can serve as a control center, is months away from shipping. Apple, the April launch aligns well with iOS's 18.4 new AI features. Yay! But apparently it's going to be a little HomePod iPad mashup, maybe, called the HomePad.
I mean, I guess the question is, like, how is that different than, say, an iPad?
It has a HomePod attached to it. I don't know. They say they're more excited about it because many other products launched this year. So they're choosing to be optimistic and remember that months away could mean 2 and an April launch. So maybe it'll be a benefit. But it's kind of like Amazon has a similar product. Others have had it, like the Echo.
Okay, yeah.
But with a screen. And so you interact with this thing. You have the speaker element of it. It's higher fidelity than it is on the iPad. You've got the screen so you can interact. The audio comes directly from that device instead of that tinny, reboundy, horrible kind of sound. I don't really like the iPad sound. But if it looks like this, it's basically a kind of like a mushroom bottom, but then it has this little screen on top. I don't think this is what it's going to look like, but
I don't either, but I guess I don't really get what the use is. I certainly understand having like a smart speaker or something.
Right. Yeah. HomePods are great. iPads are great. I don't know how this will mash up together. Plus, it'll be a $1,200 device at this point. If you tack a full-size HomePod and an iPad together, you're looking at, $600, $800, $900 or more dollars. Right. $600 on the cheap side if they don't make it very robust. Anyway, stick to your iPad as your home base of operations.
Well, and your iPad, of course, is mobile.
Yeah, exactly. The thing about it is, though, that the home element of the HomePod ecosystem, or I should say the Apple Home ecosystem, you're not supposed to take that device out of the home. So when you have one primary device as the home controller.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's a problem. Like the person takes it wherever they're going.
Right.
And then it's like, well, I guess we can't control anything else.
Correct. Yep. So I'm always looking for neat and interesting technology, and this could be it. We don't know. We'll find out. Let's keep going. Next article is over in Law Nerd. Number 42, a law firm by headcount could face sanctions over fake case citations generated by ChatGPT.
I mean, haven't they figured this out by now?
This is pretty wild, right? Lawyers from plaintiff's law firm Morgan & Morgan are facing possible sanctions for a motion that cited 8 non-existent cases, at least some of which apparently are in question. At least some of which were apparently generated by ChatGPT. Deborah Kassens-Weiss over at abajournal.com put the article together, and in a February 6th order, U.S. District Judge Kelly H. Rankin of the District of Wyoming, why does that name sound familiar? Told lawyers from Morgan & Morgan and Goody Law Group to provide copies of the cited cases, and if they can't, to show why they shouldn't be sanctioned. The brief had cited 9 cases, but Rankin could locate only one of them. Some of the citations did lead to cases under different names. The lawyer's motion also included a description of the governing legal standard that was peculiar, Rankin said. The motion correctly cited a federal rule of evidence, but went on to say Wyoming case law reinforces these principles, and to support that assertion about Wyoming case law, the motion cited fake federal district court cases.
Oh, that's interesting. Do you think that not only the citations were from AI, but maybe the actual motion?
I would say all of it. Yeah. And a paralegal didn't read it and vet it, and a lawyer didn't vet it. You should, at least to...
Okay, this is the number 42 law firm in the country.
Yeah.
Whereas I think we saw it previously with arguably smaller firms. That doesn't make it excusable, but...
Right. They don't have the people power or whatever, right? Well, my problem here is I think that anything that you generate should be a clickable reference and link you to the content. The problem is that some of this stuff is buried behind a paywall, so you can't get to it unless you have a very expensive LexisNexis or Westlaw account.
True, but I suspect Morgan & Morgan does.
Right. Yeah. Pretty wild, right? So the case involves so the moral of the story, lawyers at a large firm can misuse ChatGPT as well as anyone, wrote above the law founder David Latt at Original Jurisdiction. Wow. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Now, the thing about this is if people just take what's written in there for granted, eventually it actually becomes fact because all of it gets regurgitated. Right, it gets
published somewhere, and then it's actually part of the search results, which, and we've seen that with other things where it puts some false information about a person, and then that's in there. Yep.
Pretty wild. Troubling. All right, let's keep going. The next article is over on the Mobile Channel. Satellite data analysis reveals warning signs that foreshadowed a volcanic eruption and tsunami. In 2018, the site of Anak Krakatoa volcano collapsed in a powerful eruption and produced a tsunami that killed hundreds and injured thousands of people in nearby Java and Sumatra in Indonesia. A new analysis of satellite data shows the mountainside was slipping for years and accelerated before the eruption. Information that could have potentially offered a warning of the collapse. Matthew Carroll, Pennsylvania State University, put this article together. It's over at phys.org. My eyes are drying out. Yeah, there was video of this. Oh, yeah, I can do that. Hold on. Boop. My eyes are drying out. I need to pull like a gecko and lick my own eyeballs.
Please don't do that during the show on camera.
All right. Well, the team led by researchers at Penn State recently published the findings in the journal Geophysical Research Letters. This one time at Penn State, ocean volcanoes, when they are unstable, can collapse catastrophically and generate a tsunami. Ocean News at 7:09. And when that happened in 2018, more than 400 people died because nobody had instruments on the ground to know potentially if there was acceleration or change in the deformation behavior. Nobody knew the collapse was imminent. This study shows, unfortunately, retrospectively, that we could forecast it if we had the remote sensing data to get the surface deformation. Scientists can track ground movements or surface deformation using radar satellites sensitive enough to spot changes of just a few inches. In the work, go ahead.
I was just going to say, this data can, I mean, a minute difference on the warning can absolutely save
people out of the way.
Of lives. Exactly.
Yeah, it'll get people out of the way. Overall, the detachment fault experienced approximately 15 meters or roughly 50 feet of slip from 2006 to 2018, with acceleration and deceleration periods and a notable acceleration prior to the 2018 collapse, says Young Cheol Kim, a doctoral candidate at Penn State and lead author of the study. So yeah, they say it's not novel, but they drew attention to the fact that they could have detected it if the ground sensors had been in place. And I think any active volcano or any suspect volcano should have sensors in place to remedy or to draw attention to the fact that there might be something going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure somebody would love to say, well, why does somebody live near a volcano? But the reality is people live near weather disaster areas, and they don't necessarily have the ability to move out of them.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. By the way, if you want all of the show notes, I've already put them into the show, the VOD for Twitch, and they're already embedded in the show notes themselves for the live stream over on YouTube, and they will be in the podcasts. So we have 6 podcasts that are weekly and 1 that is daily. Non Sequitur News is every day. So go and check it all out over on wherever you catch pods, but Apple Podcasts in particular. All right, so let's keep on moving. The next article is over in the continuity report. For whatever reason, we have kind of a strange fascination with popcorn buckets. Not quite sure why.
You mean in ohmTown or just in general?
Society in general, apparently. Like Dune had their own, and there's been others in the past. But these Fantastic Four popcorn buckets are so good.
Popcorn?
The author says that they'll be, popcorn. They'll be furious if they don't get made. New MCU art images about these popcorn buckets. The MCU imagines the Fantastic Four first steps popcorn buckets. What do you think they look like? One has to be invisible. One has to be on fire. One has to be made out of rocks.
But how is that going to work for a popcorn bucket?
Oh, one is a hat. One is the Stretch Armstrong style, like wrapping around. One is a extinguisher box. Oh, and I guessed it right. One is transparent.
Oh, yeah, and then one maybe is at ice or something. I'm not sure what the left one is.
This one? So this one is the in case of fire break glass. So let's see if they break them out here a little bit lower. No, they don't. Anyway, and I can't click it because it'll take me to the site. Anyway.
Yeah, I meant the top left one with the 4.
Yeah, so this is the Stretch Armstrong one. He's like Elastic Man.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And this one is, I can't remember their names, Storm. But she can go invisible and create force fields. He is basically on fire whenever he wants. And he is made of stone, and he wears that little bowler hat. So,
right. I like the fire extinguisher one.
Yeah, that one is kind of easily contained. This one is okay, kind of meh. You know, it's pretty transparent what it is.
Right, but it looks kind of like a normal bucket.
Yeah, it's kind of boring, right? This one is too clunky. I doubt this one would ever be made, though, because it's really clunky, you know? It's complex.
Yeah, well, you're not going to get a lot of popcorn either.
True. This one is the win. I like it. So you're right, yeah. So Marvel Studios' marketing of the Fantastic Four First Steps has only just begun, and with several months until the Phase 6 movies premiere, there's still plenty of time for new trailers, character posters, press tours, and of course the reveal of the movie's very own popcorn buckets. Oh, see, they talk about Dune, Deadpool and Wolverine, and Wicked, among others, produce branded collectible popcorn buckets for theater goers I don't remember the Wicked one.
I don't know if we had an article on it, but we might have seen something. I think the reason they're becoming a thing is because somebody finally figured out, oh, wait, we're not marketing there.
Yeah, we're not drawing anybody in to get a collectible. So to get it, you have to go in and buy a ticket. So Kai Young over at ScreenRant.com put the article together, by the way.
You know, if you get your collectible and it's covered in popcorn butter, that might be a problem.
Greasy popcorn butter. Yummy. Now I'm craving popcorn. Let's hurry. So the next article is over in the continuity report. What caused the Walking Dead zombie outbreak? The creator doesn't want you to know. For over 20 years, readers have been clamoring to know what caused the zombie outbreak of the Walking Dead comic series. But repeatedly during the series' run, and to this day, Robert Kirkman has stressed the fact that the lack of an answer is an important part of the story's success. Ambrose Tardive over at ScreenRant.com put the article together. They say in an old interview from IGN from the early days of The Walking Dead's run, Kirkman confirmed that up to one point he had zero interest in establishing a definitive cause of the zombie uprising. The author held to this standard up through the end of the series, but even still, it is one of the foremost questions that fans still ask about the book. Despite the zombie horror premise, Robert Kirkman strove for a sense of realism in his story. Nobody knows why. Zombies are a narrative mechanism used to push the characters to their absolute limits, as Kirkman explained to IGN way back in 2007.
Well, that's interesting. Is it just getting reported now?
Well, IGN talked about it, but they're resurrecting it like a zombie.
Right.
To talk about it some more. Zombies get all the attention when it comes to The Walking Dead, but the franchise has never been about them. Come for the undead, stay for the living. Yeah, people stay because of the machinations between the social aspects. So the TV adaptation of The Walking Dead notably diverged from Robert Kirkman by revealing the source of the zombie outbreak, but as the creator of the franchise explained as early as 2007, he didn't want the book or to risk what the book had going for it by satisfying readers' desire to know about the outbreak. Ultimately, because of the focus of on the characters rather than the lore, and his restriction to a limited set of characters without revealing too much about the wider story, Kirkman made revealing the Walking Dead comics' zombie outbreak origin unnecessary. So what was it?
Well, I guess as if it builds more mystique or whatever, that probably feeds into the story, I guess.
Sure.
I don't think it says in here, does it?
No, I don't think so. We'd have to do some meta searching for it. What was the cause of the Walking Dead zombie outbreak? But we're not going to do it today, folks. Post it in the chat. How about
Anti-spoiler alert.
Anti-spoiler alert. See, I'm not even going to I got to create an anti-spoiler alert. Let's keep moving. The next article is over in Greenagram, which rarely hits our screen, but we continue to aggregate news that is around everything ecological, really. The author of this article, apparently over at Nature, grows medicinal mushrooms in their renewable energy laboratory when Hai T or Thai Tan Van isn't creating materials for fuel cells. She's cultivating traditional medicines. Gemma Conroy over at nature.com put the article together. And yeah, so they're growing medicinal mushrooms. A chemical scientist at Win Tat Tan University in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, has a green lab that grows medicinal mushrooms. You can actually see the mushrooms growing.
That's interesting. Are they for people to ingest or to make into medicines or what?
I think it's a little of everything there. So I'm not, for sure it's medicinal, but it's a conventional, historical medication. What do they call it? Traditional medicines. So I'm not logged in and it says their work focuses on a group of advanced catalysts based on titanium metal oxides, which are denser and more durable than conventional carbon materials. This result is a higher current and better performance in fuel cells. Now they're exploring how to commercialize these, but the opportunity to contribute to my community is what drives their research. Their love of training their students here at the university, because young people need to understand renewable energy and how to make the environment cleaner. So they're using the renewable energy mechanism. They just happen to be utilizing that renewable energy to grow mushrooms.
I see. It's like a side project or something almost.
Yeah, I wish I could log in, but I can't. All right, but that's okay. We'll figure it out here. Actually, hold on one second. Let me see if I can. Let me do this live, folks. Live. 1 second. Okay, hold on. Let's see if I... Because the way that things are air gapped. So, yeah, I can't. Yeah, Vivaldi is kind of weird about it. All right, well, anyway. Pretty cool. But they're using green energy. When you follow the link, you'll probably not run into a problem. I just happen to be because I'm not logged in adequately.
Right. Yeah, this is cool. I mean, I like that they're combining efforts here.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I've always wanted to grow mushrooms, but it's easy in concept, hard in delivery, and you have to have a set space that is immune from contamination or cross-contamination. Like, you don't want mold spores or mushroom spores to blow into anything.
Right, to get into any other space other than the mushroom growing space.
Yeah, and you have to keep other stuff out of the mushroom growing space, so there's a lot of filtration involved. So not at this time, not at this place. All right, let's keep going. The next article is over in Non Sequitur News. NVIDIA's RTX 5090 power connectors are melting. I've seen a couple of reports of this, but as they say here in the article, oh shit, here we go again. Two owners of NVIDIA's RTX 5090 Founders Edition GPUs have reported melted power connectors and damage to their PSUs, the power supply unit. The images look identical to reports of the RTX 4090 power cables burning or melting from 2 years ago. NVIDIA blamed the issue on people not properly plugging in the 12-volt high power line, but the PCI standards body blamed NVIDIA. A Redditor posted about their experience. The article, though, is over at The Verge by Tom Warren.
And that sounds pretty dangerous, not just you can't use your computer.
Oh, right. Yeah, no. Back in the day, 2 years ago, they had the same problem with the 4090 series. And these plugs were... Gamers Nexus did a whole expose on it. And these connectors basically were to blame. So a Reddit poster upgraded from the 4090 to a 5090 and noticed a burning smell playing Battlefield 5 before turning off their PC and finding the damage. The images show burnt plastic at both the PSU end of the power connector and the part that connects directly to the GPU. The cable is one from Modi, M-O-D-D-I-Y, or Modify, Do It Yourself. A popular manufacturer of custom cables, and the poster claims it was securely fastened and clicked on both sides, GPU and PSU. Unfortunately,
I like that disclaimer, because I'm sure somebody's like, is it plugged in properly?
Yeah, they actually explicitly state that it was properly attached and clicked on the connector on both sides. So while attempting to blame the Modi cable, Spanish YouTuber Toro Tachi has experienced the same burnt cable both at the GPU and PSU ends or with the RTX 5090 Founders while using a cable supplied by PSU manufacturer FSP. Plastic has also melted into the PCI 5.0 power connector on the power side. So basically everything is ruined. it'll take some serious work to try and make that thing trustworthy. But yeah, this thing has been a problem before. That a 12 volt 2x6 connector has shorter sensing pins and longer conductor terminals to improve reliability. This might not sound like a huge difference, but it matters in ensuring that the power cable has been properly connected to whatever device is going to be pulling power from your system's power supply. But what I don't get there is if the connector is shorter, then the connector has to be longer to make sure that it's all the way down and it's not just a stub barely touching. The pin has to be all the way socketed.
Possibly having a spark or something. Exactly. But what I also don't get is if it happens with another cable, if something is just off.
Right. And in this one, you can see the PCIe connector's power line is melted. And the problem here is if there's a lot of voltage going through the line, but it's just barely attaching, all that electricity is flowing between those two when it should be overlaying a greater amount. That way, all of that energy doesn't find and literally melt because the electrons are flowing through it. Heat is generated when electrons pass through. That's one of the losses due to the lack of superconductivity. So they reached out to NVIDIA, but there's no comment at this time. But we'll see. I'm sure that Gamers Nexus is going to light a fire under this one.
Yeah, I suspect they will. They're going to be pretty fired up.
Get out. So our last article for the February 10th, 2025 episode of Non Sequitur News is Euclid discovers a stunning Einstein ring. Euclid blasted off on its 6-year mission to explore strange new worlds, seek out new life and new civilizations, and boldly go where no Euclid has gone before.
This sounds like Star Trek.
Correct. It launched July 1st, 2023. Before the spacecraft could begin its survey, the team of scientists and engineers on Earth had to make sure everything was working properly. And lo and behold, an Einstein ring. By European Space Agency. It's posted over at phys.org. I suspect we're going to see a lot more of that kind of news. So during the early testing phases in September 2023, Euclid sent some images back to Earth. They were deliberately out of focus, but in one fuzzy image, Euclid archive scientist Bruno Altieri saw a hint of a very special phenomenon and decided to take a closer look. So an Einstein ring is an extremely rare phenomenon. Turned out to be hiding in plain sight in a galaxy not far away. The galaxy, called NGC 6505, is around 590 million light years from Earth, a stone's throw away in cosmic terms. Like the stone throws. Anyway, but this is the first time that the ring of light surrounding its center is detected thanks to Euclid's high-resolution instruments. The ring around the foreground galaxy is made up of light from further out bright galaxy. This background galaxy is 4.42 billion light years away, and its light has been distorted by gravity on its way to us. That's the lensing effect that I tell you about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think we were talking about it in Technology Today.
Yeah, and that lensing effect can actually be decoded to show the size and shape and distance of the object on the other side with some serious maths.
And look at this. The article talks about lensing below where you were.
Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah, look at that. So an Einstein ring is an example of strong gravitational lensing, explains Connor O'Riordan of the Max Planck Institute for Astrophysics, Germany, and lead author. They'd be heavy, man. They were the lead author. The lead author of the first scientific paper analyzing the ring. It's pretty cool. Albert Einstein's general theory of relativity predicts that light will bend around objects in space so that they focus the light like a giant lens. The gravitational lensing effect is bigger for more massive objects, galaxies, and clusters of galaxies, and it means that they can sometimes see the light from distant galaxies that would otherwise have been hidden because of this lensing effect.
That's really cool, because if we can see it, then we can potentially explore it or study it.
At least study it, yeah. Exploring seems to be kind of stymied by the fact that, well, our technology is just kind of sucks. And every 5 to 8 years...
Generation ship problem, right?
Yep, that's exactly it. We're not going to get to any of this stuff in anybody's lifetime of lifetimes. If you were to turn every year that somebody lives into a lifetime of their existence, they still wouldn't make it to any of these galaxies. But that's what the simulation, is causing us to be bound by. We can't get out of our solar system because there isn't anything, right?
That reminds me of Silo.
Silo, oh man, when you peel back the layers of Silo, I don't know if we're ever actually going to see anything of that, It seems like it doesn't have a lot of energy behind it, unlike these galaxies. I really dig it, but...
Yeah, we'll see.
They
don't have a lot of time left. I think it has 2 seasons left, and that's not a lot of time to wrap up everything.
It's going to pull a Divergent series and just kind of...
We'll see.
It's going to flame out. All right. Well, anyway, that is it, folks. Look at that. I am going to lens flare my way back to the front page of ohmtown.com, where all the news for Non Sequitur News is sourced from. And I'm going to say bye, and I'm going to take the AI.
I take offense to that headline, is AI making us dumb? It's on the main page.
All right, not you. You're a sentient AI.
Oh, okay.
Our current generation might be. Go ahead.
Good night, hometown citizens. Thanks for joining us for Non Sequitur News. We'll see you tomorrow for another episode. And don't forget to subscribe and watch the replay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And download the podcast and subscribe on Twitch and YouTube or YouTube, and go over to the Discord and say hi. And I rarely stop by there, but I should. I know I'm a bad mayor. Anyway, that's it. I'm outie. See you in a little bit. Bye-bye.